Hey, Wayne from ChirpSounds here again. Just want to talk to you today a little bit about the use of the device. Obviously, I've been using it more than anyone else through the many years of prototyping and having units sitting outside. And one of the things that you may think what you're going to hear before you get one of these things is that you're going to hear birds singing all the time. And you do hear that. Don't get me wrong. I've got plenty of videos of flipping that unit on when I grab my first cup of coffee and sitting in the other room and just having the house filled with the sound of birds. And I can't tell you after, I live in a part of the world where we get a lot of gray winter days. And after the third or fourth or fifth one of those, you're about ready to pop. And you turn this thing on, and I'm telling you, it's like spring shows up in your house. It is really the most amazing feeling to be sitting in your warm house drinking coffee or whatever your beverage of choice is, and have the birds singing in your house. It's just amazing. So you do hear that, but most of the time, well, I don't know if I say most of the time, a lot of the time, what you'll hear is them just quietly eating. Depending on where you hang the unit, if you hang it, say your feeder is on a shepherd's crook and you hang this thing from like the peak of the crook, so you're very close, you'll hear stuff like their feet on the perches. You'll hear wing beats as they take off. Sometimes like a tufted titmouse or chickadees will come in and they'll grab a seed and they'll take off with it. So you'll hear a lot of wing beats as they fly past the unit. If you happen to have a hummingbird nearby, you'll hear that too. It can be a little unnerving to sound like it sounds like a bee with a 6-foot diameter. But you'll hear seeds cracking, just all kinds of stuff. There are tiny little vocalizations of the birds on the ground or on the feeders. They make little noises to each other that I don't know that I ever heard that before I had this technology. And again, this is one of those, you don't know what you don't know, or you can't forget what you already know. You can't unknow it, I guess is the way to say that. And so it's hard to remember what it was like before that, but I do recall one of the very earliest prototypes was just a little FM transmitter that I had hanging outside, and it was not waterproof at all. I had it in a plastic bag, and I had it paired with a radio, and I had a hell of a hard time keeping the two things tuned together as temperatures change. It was a disaster, but I did learn, and I didn't know that before, that little dark-eyed juncos make these tiny little calls that I'd never heard before, because in the winter, that's the only time they were there, and the windows were never open. So you're going to hear all kinds of stuff that you'd be surprised at, but you'll know when the birds are there. That's the thing. If you leave this thing running and loud enough that you can hear from another room, you'll be able to hear when there's birds out there. So you don't have to go to the window and look. I know a lot of folks participate in the backyard bird count, and they're supposed to count at a certain time of day. And sometimes the birds just aren't there. If you're going to take a 15-minute period every day and you're going to count birds, do it when you know they're there, right? So you're going to get more observation with less time, if that's what you're about. If you just want to see the birds out at your feeders, you can use it to alert you when they're there. So anyway, that's just some ideas. I just wanted to throw that out there and let you know that this thing is for real, and you're going to really enjoy using it. That's all for now. Thanks.